You know, I always love when conservatives go on racist rants on the internet. I love that shit. And I'll tell you why. Whenever like this happens, liberals like, oh my God, this is so horrible. Oh my God. This to me is a W. Matt Walsh has taken to Twitter to let Mexicans know he does not like them. Matt Walsh is obviously racist. If you haven't like understood it by now, he obviously is. He's not that good at racism. Like for my top three, he's not my top three. I'd say Nick is my top one racist. Richard Spencer top two. Jared Taylor top. I gave him three. My starting three racist. I don't have a starting five yet. David Duke. I give him four. Who am I putting in five? I don't know. I don't know yet who I put my in five. I don't know. I don't have a five yet. I don't have a starting five yet. I got to think about it. I would put Matt Walsh, but he's not entertaining enough or cool enough to be top five, my top five racist. So starting five, Matt Walsh is not there. But Matt Walsh has taken to Twitter to let Mexicans know he doesn't like them. So Matt Walsh starts off by saying Americanized versions of Mexican food are better. Americans make better tacos and much better guacamole. The authentic version of third world cuisine is usually not as good as the first world variation. This is a lie. Like, this is such a lie. The only food I can think of that I enjoy in America in contrast to its original roots is pizza. Sorry for the Italians that are from Italy that might watch my show. I don't know if any of you are Italian in Italy. Shout out to you. I'm genuinely honored that you watch my show. American pizza just tastes better to me. I'm sorry. I just like American pizza better. But as somebody who has tried many different types of food, I can tell you firsthand, no. American versions of Mexican, like, no, Taco Bell is not the same as authentic Mexican food. The end. Like, I'm sorry, like, you just have, like, you are a GTA character, like, I'm sorry, this idea that, like, oh, Americanized versions of Mexican food are better. Taco Bell? I don't even like Mexican food. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't prefer Mexican food. It's not my type. I'll eat it, like, but it's not my go-to. But even I, as someone who's had Taco Bell, and also as someone who's eaten at relatively authentic Mexican restaurants, I can tell you I'd rather eat at the authentic restaurant than at Taco fucking Bell. This is the most Donald Trump kind of energy I've ever seen. Can I have Donald Trump was in Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump was in the most powerful, wealthy Arab nation ever. And instead of eating the local food, this man sits there and has mobile McDonald's brought to him. Imagine all of the Middle Eastern food you could have eaten, cooked real food, and you sitting there. You know Donald Trump drinks, right? He drinks with two hands. Like, he's over there drinking. I don't know what his sippy cup bitch ass nigga. He over there. Very good, very great. This is a grown ass, not even a grown ass man, an elderly senior citizen with only so many years left, and he's still sitting there eating McDonald's like a fucking child with his legs kicking. He in a high seat kicking, eating his McDonald's. Meanwhile, the Saudi royal family over there eating grown man food, talking to him about real shit, talking to him about foreign issues, talking to him like, bro, what the fuck? This is crazy. But this is MAGA, bro. They're uncultured swine. Seriously, he's not even one of the best racists. Even Nick Fuentes was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like liberals have much better taste in food. Like, they have much more, like, they eat foreign foods, they eat different types of shit. If it were up to people like Matt Walsh, all we eat is McDonald's and Taco Bell and like barbecue. Can we have other shit? Damn. He sits there and says the authentic version of third world cuisine is usually not as good as the first world variation. What the fuck is he talking about? There's only two genres of food I don't like. Chinese food, actually three. Japanese food, ramen is cool, the rest, Chinese food in general, no thank you. Mexican food. I'd much rather the authentic than eat at an Americanized version. I'll tell you that. Matthew goes on to say, every Mexican dish is just a taco in slightly different forms. The most redundant and least diverse cuisine on the planet. It's time to be honest about this. Matt Walsh has a very low IQ. Like, I remember that Joe Rogan interview where he was just stumped and couldn't, like, have a proper conversation with him about, like, gay marriage and why it's wrong. Like, he's just sitting there, well, God said. Well, God said, so go, God. Matt Walsh is actually stupid, and I'll tell you why. Most cuisine can be put into a taco. French fries can be put into a taco. Rice and peas can be put into a taco. Oxtail can be put into a taco. Jollof rice can be put into a taco. Spaghetti can be put into a taco. Lasagna can be put into a taco. Need I go on? Chow mein, lo mein, shrimp fried rice. All of these things, ramen, all of this stuff, bro. A taco is just something. You just put the things in there, bro. Matt Walsh, you need to, think before you type. The nigga so racist that the brain ain't even firing right. Think for 2 seconds. Most cuisine can be put into a taco. Most. You can put cheeseburger in a taco. There are cheeseburger tacos. I'm sure there's a restaurant out there that chops up the beef, puts some cheese on it, lettuce, tomato, mayo, puts it in a taco, cheeseburger taco. What is this nigga talking about? You can put ham and lettuce and tomato and mayo in a taco. You can put BLT in a taco. Anything can go into a taco. Besides, like, I don't know, like chicken wings, because it's on the bone. You have to eat it on the bone. You can literally put anything else in a taco. This is a dumb statement. Every Mexican dish is just a taco in slightly different forms? Bro, this nigga can't even do racism right. Like, bro, this is not my favorite racist. He's just not, his skill level, he's not there yet. I'm sorry, bro. Matt Walsh, like, if this is the best that racists can offer in 2025, this is bad. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there has to be, it can't be this bad. Every Mexican dish is just a taco in slightly different forms. This would be funny if Matt Walsh wasn't racist and wasn't actually trying to be as racist as possible. That'd be like a funny stand-up joke. It's not true, but it's kind of true. But if you think about it for 5 minutes, it's obviously not true. Like, that kind of joke. It's just like, this is just retarded. And he goes on this rant about, he just goes in on Mexicans. He just goes on and on and on. Then his rant takes a really dark turn. Matthew goes on to say, we're constantly told about all of the wondrous benefits that hardworking Mexicans bring to our country, and yet Mexico, with all of its Mexicans, is a dysfunctional shithole that Mexicans desperately want to escape. Something isn't adding up here. Now, despite the fact that most of the European countries that Matt Walsh's, Irish ancestors and the Sicilians, the Poles, they came from mostly shithole countries and were able to assimilate, work hard, and do their best. With Mexicans, it's different though, because most of them aren't white. So when they come from a shithole country, we have to evaluate that and really, really limit that and just like kick all of them out as much as humanly possible. Matt Walsh has another tweet talking about how we need to limit all. I actually do think trying to bring in the entire world is a bad idea long term. However, we know full and fucking well these people don't just, they're not just like guys like just stop immigration then I'll get along. No, it's let's stop immigration and let's get all of these people the fuck out of here. However, whatever it takes to do so. You can't trust these people. Matt Walsh sits there and says that, the wondrous benefits that hardworking Mexicans bring into our country. The reality is childish of Matt Walsh. Incredibly childish of Matt Walsh, because conservatives will sit there and talk about how big of a shithole Mexico is, but not talk about how big of a shithole Russia is. Russia being a shithole without functioning toilets and constant endless foreign wars is perfectly fine because Russia is white. Mexico, on the other hand, dealing with cartels, that's a big problem because they're brown. That's the reality of it. Like, Russia is actually a national security threat, far more significantly than Mexico could ever be. Russia constantly threatens to blow up the entire planet on a consistent basis, and Matt Walsh doesn't care, again, because they're white and because they funnel money into the American conservative movement. This is why we've seen characters like Brett Cooper randomly appearing in Hungary for no apparent reason for extended periods of time. Orbán is at the head of Hungary and is a very tight associate of Vladimir Putin, along with the other conservative influencers who just didn't know that they were being secretly funded by Russia. They didn't know. Sure they didn't. Mexicans who support Trump, I'm going to tell y'all this. Matt Walsh is letting you know exactly how he feels. That's the reality of it. Matt Walsh is letting you know exactly how he feels. He goes on about how Mexico is a shithole country and, you know, Mexicans don't bring any benefits of hard work to this nation, despite the fact that so many different industries are dependent upon undocumented labor. And in the event that they were all deported, the economy would take a massive hit. But God forbid, Matt Walsh's white, superior, civilized-minded brain, you know, God forbid he ever pays any attention to the reality of that. He needs to assert his racial dominance by talking shit. Matt Walsh is not the whiteness that Matt Walsh is so proud of. He's not that. Like, even like real racists like Richard Spencer, who have gone on crazy racist rants. If you've heard the rant, you heard the rant. If you haven't, well, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you this, Richard Spencer, who went on one of the craziest racist rants I've ever heard, topping Nick Fuentes, even he was like, guys, Trump represents instability, destruction. Let's play the long game. He didn't say it like that, but come on, we all know. Let's play the long game and pick Harris. Matt Walsh couldn't care less about the fact that RFK is undermining the efficacy of modern medicine. Matt Walsh doesn't care about the fact that Donald Trump is undoing European or like the, you know, democracy, rule of law, applying to not just citizens, but also the head of state. All of these different things are European ideas mostly, and Donald Trump is burning all of it to the ground. Matt Walsh doesn't care. Matt Walsh is not trying to preserve all of the great things white people have developed and done. He's actively watching an orange fat ass burn it all to the ground with his whole squad of goons, and Matt Walsh does not care. So when Matt Walsh goes on racist rants about how Mexicans ain't shit, realize and recognize Matt Walsh is white trash. He's one step up. He's not even really, come on, like, let's be for real. Donald Trump is the epitome of white trash, and so is Matt Walsh. All of these great things that European civilization has developed, and Matt Walsh is literally smiling alongside the rest of the MAGA influencer sphere as the MAGA base destroys it all. You have people who have real racist past, like Richard Hanania, on Twitter being like, hey, yo, MAGA's actually a third world movement. So how the fuck can Matt Walsh say shit about third world? But realize and recognize Mexicans who support MAGA, this is how these people feel. They will sit there and turn their own nations into a shithole while pointing at you, who's probably doing nothing to nobody, minding your own business, probably legally here, shit on you, attack you, say you're undermining developed civilization, you come from a shithole country. Meanwhile, those same people mad at your ass are actively undermining civilization, actively undermining the West. It's crazy. The logic, lack thereof, actually, is crazy. But this is Matt Walsh, though, an actual idiot. There's nothing going on in that brain. Matt Walsh is actually stupid. Mexican cuisine is literally just a taco in different forms. You could fit most cuisine in a taco, you dumb fuck. Like, how did he not even think about that for 2 seconds? Anything can go in one. Literally anything. Like, what is this man talking about? It's absolutely ridiculous.